A young woman walks into an elevator. She presses the buttons, but the doors don't close. She hesitates, steps in and out, moves her hands in ways that make no sense. She looks like she's hiding, maybe even talking to someone, except there's no one there. Then days later, hotel guests start complaining that their water tastes, well, weird. That's when maintenance workers check the rooftop water tanks and find her body floating inside. How did Elisa Lam end up there? How did she get to the rooftop when it was locked? And what in the world was going on in that elevator footage? Murder? A tragic accident? Something supernatural? And why does this case still haunt people a decade later? Now, let's break it down, uncover the theories, and most importantly, get to the bottom of what makes this case one of the strangest mysteries of the modern era. Well, the thing about mysteries is that the more you try to explain them, the weirder they get. And Elisa Lam's case? It's one of those stories where the deeper you dig, the more unsettling everything becomes. I mean, let's start with the fact that she was staying at the Cecil Hotel, which, if hotels had Yelp reviews for supernatural activity, would be a solid 1 star. You've got serial killers, unexplained deaths, people who literally checked in and never checked out. Well, not exactly a cozy little bed and breakfast. But Elisa, she wasn't there for the creepy vibes. She was a 21-year-old student from Canada traveling alone, documenting her experiences on Tumblr. And then suddenly, poof, she's gone. The elevator footage is the last known video of her, and it's the kind of clip that just doesn't sit right. Why is she acting like she's hiding? Why does the elevator take forever to close? Why does she step out, wave her hands around, and then vanish? The logical explanation? Some say she was having a severe mental health episode. She had bipolar disorder, and if she wasn't on her medication properly, it could have led to paranoia, hallucinations, or erratic behavior. And yeah, that would explain her actions. Except it doesn't explain the logistics. How did she get to the rooftop, past locked doors and alarms? How did she get into a huge industrial water tank, lift the heavy lid, and end up inside? And the real kicker, when they found her, the lid was reportedly closed. That's where the conspiracy theories come in. Some people are convinced she was murdered. That someone in the hotel, maybe a guest, maybe an employee, led her to the rooftop and put her in that tank. Then, of course, there are the paranormal theories. The Cecil Hotel is known for weird, tragic deaths, so some people believe she was under some kind of supernatural influence. And don't even get me started on the weird coincidences with the horror movie Dark Water, which involves a girl drowning in a rooftop water tank in an old hotel. Sounds a little too familiar, doesn't it? But let's be real. Sometimes the most unsettling mysteries don't need ghosts or serial killers. Sometimes they're just incomplete. The case was ruled an accidental drowning, but that answer doesn't feel complete, doesn't it? Maybe that's why this case sticks with us, because it reminds us that sometimes we just don't get all the answers. And that, my friends, is way scarier than any ghost stories. Now, of course, I will have to say that many mysteries about this case were already solved, like the elevator's open door and the closed lid, because it turned out it wasn't closed when the maintenance man found her, it was open. But still, when you read or watch about the Elisa Lam case, you still feel mystery all around it. But anyway, that was the topic. Now let's learn some vocabulary in context. Because remember, we're English Plus Podcast, and everything we talk about has two main purposes: to take our English and knowledge to the next level. So let's learn some vocabulary in context. Now, if there's one word that describes this case, it's unsettling. It's that feeling when something isn't obviously scary, but it gets under your skin. The elevator footage, completely unsettling. The fact that people drank the water from the tank Elisa was in, extremely unsettling. That one mannequin in every clothing store that looks just a little too real? Also unsettling. So you see, that's our word, unsettling. Now let's move on to another word. Let's talk about vanished. This word isn't just about disappearing. It's about disappearing in a way that feels impossible. 1 second something's there, and the next it's gone. No trace, no explanation. Elisa Lam vanished into thin air before she was found, and even after she was found, people still wondered how she got there. Then there's baffled. Now, if something baffles you, it makes no sense, no matter how much you try to understand it. The police were baffled by how Elisa got to the rooftop. You might be baffled by why your Wi-Fi stops working only when you need it most. And I'm still baffled by how socks disappear in the laundry every single time. So you see, that's the word baffled. Another great word from our context for this case is shrouded, as in shrouded in mystery. When something is shrouded, it's hidden, covered, or unclear, like a magician trick that you can't quite figure out. The Elisa Lam case, completely shrouded in mystery, and that's why it still haunts people today. And finally, let's talk about conspiracy. A conspiracy is a theory that there's some kind of secret or hidden truth behind something. Some people think the elevator footage was edited, that the hotel covered something up, or that Elisa was involved in some kind of experiment. Some conspiracy theories sound reasonable, while others, well, let's just say if you think birds aren't real, we need to talk. Alright, my friends, these are the words that I wanted to share with you from the context of our story, but now I will leave you with some discussion questions. And I want you to share your answers in the comment section. Now let me share these questions with you. What's your theory? Do you think Elisa's death was an accident, or do you think there's something more to it? And do you believe the environment of a place like the dark history of the Cecil Hotel can influence what happens there, or is it all just coincidence? And my next question is, why do you think people are so fascinated by unsolved mysteries? Is it the fear of the unknown or the need for answers? And if you had to pick just one strange detail from this case that bothers you the most, what would it be? And my final question is, do you think social media and internet sleuths help solve mysteries, or do they make things worse by spreading speculation? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you think. Now, of course, you don't have to answer all the questions. Just pick a question or two, or all of them if you want, and leave your answers in the comment. Let's start a conversation about this very interesting topic. And of course, if you want more, head over to EnglishPlusPodcast.com, where you will find a full magazine article breaking down the case in more detail. Plus, there's an interactive quiz, crossword puzzle, a word search, and vocabulary building exercises so you can boost your English while diving deeper into the mystery. And if you want exclusive access to premium episodes, full audio series, and deep dive courses, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Patreon. The links are in the description. And of course, this is just a short version of the episode. If you want the full extended version of the episode, you can get that by getting exclusive access to our premium episodes, our full audio series, and deep dive courses. Of course, you can do that by subscribing on Apple Podcasts or Patreon. You can find the links in the description of the episode. And as always, take your English and knowledge to the next level and never stop learning with English Plus Podcast. I'll see you next time.